Deep Purple has 22 studio albums of original material. That means 22 opening tracks. So I've ranked all 22 from weakest to strongest across 3 tiers. Let's get into it. Starting off with the bronze tier. At 22, King of Dreams from Slaves and Masters. This is what happens when you try to make Deep Purple sound like an AOR band, like Latter Day Rainbow. King of Dreams is smooth and radio ready. It's actually one of the album's better tracks, with a memorable chorus. It tells you exactly where this album is going. Melodic hard rock that's more polish than punch. At 21, And the Address from Shades of Deep Purple. Mark I was still figuring out what Deep Purple even was. This cooks along nicely and has some traces of a heaviness to come, but it's a psychedelic instrumental and doesn't effectively set the tone for the album. At 20, Listen, Learn, Read On from the Book of Taliesin. Again, Mark I hadn't found their voice yet. This is another trippy song, albeit with a bass solo. Regardless, this isn't even in the top 5 songs on the album. Number 19, Any Fool Know That. This is one of the least essential songs to open any Deep Purple album. Abandon was a bit of a struggle for the band, but there were some really, really great songs on it. Unfortunately, Any Fool ain't one of them. To my ears, this is a song of its time, a song that's trying to find a place on late 90s airwaves. Number 18, House of Pain from Bananas. This is a mid-tempo rocker that's perfectly adequate. Opening tracks should make a first impression. This one kind of reminds me of a first impression I had on another album. Number 17, Chasing Shadows from the self-titled album, Deep Purple. I love this album, and I love Chasing Shadows. I think this is the only song you could have opened the album with, so in that sense, it serves well as an opener. But, that said, it's not a slap in the face that demands you listen to the album. Moving on to the silver tier. Number 16, Bad Attitude, The House of Blue Light. The Mark II reunion was monumental, but Bad Attitude is a good opener on an okay album. It's got energy and attitude, no pun intended, but it just doesn't have that spark that made their 70s openers legendary. Number 15, Comin' Home, Come Taste the Band. This is an energetic blues rocker. Tommy Bolin shows his chops with some scorching solos, but the foundation is built on a rather ordinary sounding progression that feels more like a Whitesnake tune than a Deep Purple statement. It's got energy, but lacks the musical tension you'd expect from Deep Purple. It represents the album well, which is exactly the problem. Number 14, Money Talks, Rapture of the Deep. A heavy rocker that's actually quite good, and it thumps, but it's a mid-tempo song, and it really takes its time to find its stride. That said, it reflects the album well, and, I happen to like it more than the songs that rank below it. Number 13, Throw My Bones from Whoosh. This is Mark VII Deep Purple doing what they do well. Solid, professional, heavy rock. Even if you're hoping for something a little more ruckus than solid and professional, it's still a good opening track. Number 12, The Battle Rages On from The Battle Rages On. This has the energy an opener needs, and Blackmore's riff is excellent, even if he lifted it directly from Rainbow's Fire Dance. But the song follows a familiar Blackmore formula that he used from the 80s onward. And while it announces the album with appropriate aggression, it just doesn't draw me in the same way the band's more dynamic openers do. Number 11, Vavoom, Ted the Mechanic from Perpendicular. Here's where I'll lose some of you. Yes, it's a little bit goofy, and yes, the lyrics are absurd, but as an opener, it works. It's got swagger, energy, and Steve Morse absolutely shredding. It grabs your attention, which is exactly what an opening track should do. Plus, it's fun, something Purple hadn't been for some time. Number 10, A Simple Song from Now What. Don't let the title fool you. This is a strong, confident opener that starts off quietly, but showcases the band's chemistry in their later years. It's not trying to be Highway Star, and that restraint actually works in its favor. Number 9, Show Me from Equals One. The most recent opener holds its own. It's immediate, it's muscular, and it proves the band still knows how to start an album with authority, even in 2024. Number 8, Woman from Tokyo. Who do we think we are? Yeah, no, it's not as explosive as Highway Star or Speed King, but as an opener, it's excellent. That bass line is iconic, and the groove is undeniable, and it sets up the album nicely. Okay, we're now into the gold tier. Exciting. So at number 7, Stormbringer. The Mark III era's second statement doubles down on the funk influence. David Coverdale's voice is stunning, even if the lyrics aren't, and the riff is monstrous. And that swagger sets it even further apart from the Mark II classics. Where Byrne announced the band's new lineup, Stormbringer shows they weren't backing down from their groovy direction. Number 6, Knocking at Your Back Door from Perfect Strangers. The reunion opener. After a decade apart, they could have played it safe with a straightforward rocker. Instead, they gave us this, kind of a sleazy, swaggering, and utterly confident song. As an opener, it does exactly what it needs to do. It says, we're back, and we haven't lost a step. Number 5, Time for Bedlam, Infinite. This is one of the most underrated openers in their entire catalog. It's modern Deep Purple at their absolute best. Heavy, a little bit quirky. If this had come out in 72, people would be worshiping it. It's just a shame about, Gillan's talking bits at the beginning. Number 4, Fireball from Fireball. That opening, you know what I'm talking about. It's immediate, it's aggressive, and it announces that Deep Purple in rock wasn't a fluke. Number 3, Burn. The Mark III debut is one of the greatest opening tracks in their entire catalog. The riff is iconic, and it doesn't waste a single second. From the first note, you know you're compelled to listen. Number 2, Speed King from Deep Purple in rock. This is where Deep Purple became Deep Purple. I'll say Deep Purple one more time. The Mark II lineup's first studio opener is an absolute statement. It's raw and aggressive, and announces that the psychedelic years are over. Little Richard filtered through Marshall stacks. It's chaos and precision at the same time. Finally, we've reached number 1, and I think we all knew this. Highway Star from Machine Head. The gold standard. This is the opening track that everyone thinks of when they think of Deep Purple. The organ solo, the guitar solo, the vocals. It's perfection as an album opener. It's immediate, iconic, and impossible to ignore. So there it is. Highway Star, Speed King, and Burn ruling the gold tier. Tell me where I went wrong in the comments, because I know someone's already outraged. Thanks for watching, and if you're still here, like, subscribe, and absolutely drop kick that bell thingy. Have a great day.